everybody, welcome to day 12 of the 2-week yoga challenge. My name is Freya and I'm going to be guiding you through this practice today. Whenever you're ready, find yourself a comfortable seat, sitting either cross-legged or on your knees. Take your hands on your lap, palms facing up, and close down the eyes. Start to send the breath to the belly, relaxing the abdomen. Inhale. And exhale, let the breath out with a sigh through the mouth. Let's take another full breath in through the nose. And let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Beautiful. Gently open the eyes and come onto rolling onto all fours, taking the knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders. Rock the body gently from side to side and then sink back into an extended child's pose, touching the big toes together and coming up onto the fingertips, making this an active child's pose, pressing the forehead into the mat. Keep the hips low. If you can, keep the forehead connected to the mat and just stretch out the shoulders, hollowing out the armpits. I'm just taking a beautiful stretch of the shoulders here. Take one more full breath. And exhale. Start to bring yourself up. Press the hands onto the mat and slide yourself back into all fours. Take the knees underneath the hips again. Rock the shoulders from side to side. Spread the fingertips wide, all 10 fingers on the mat. And then we're going to start to take some wrist stretch. So just start to roll the body in a clockwise direction, pressing into the hands and just stretching out the wrists. Keep breathing in through the nose and then gently change direction. So we're just warming up the wrists here, just allowing the body to move in any way that feels good. Bring yourself back to the center and reach up the right arm. Tuck the right arm underneath the left shoulder and lay down on the right shoulder. Stay here for just one breath and then we're going to flow. Inhale, sweep up the arm. Exhale, float back into the twist. And again, inhale, sweep up the arm. Exhale, float into the twist, moving with your own breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and step the hands back onto the mat. Rock the body gently from side to side, coming into the other side. Inhale, sweep up the left arm. Exhale, tuck that left arm underneath the right, lay on that left shoulder. 1 full breath here. And then inhale, sweep up the left arm again. Exhale, tuck it underneath the right shoulder. We've got 3 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Moving with your own breath. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale, sweep up the arm. And press the hands back on the mat. Rock the body gently from side to side. Tuck the toes and send the hips back into a downward facing dog. Pressing into all 10 toes. Opening the shoulders, sending the sit bones high. Heels towards the mat. Take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh out through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Inhale, we're going to roll into plank. Pause here. And then exhale, send yourself back to a downward facing dog. Just moving really slowly. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Warming up the core. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Press yourself back to downward facing dog. Paddle out the legs. And then we'll go for another round 5 more times. Pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Switching up the breath. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more rounds. Keep moving. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale back to plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And then inhale, come high up onto the toes. We're going to sweep up the right leg and we're going to step the right foot in between the hands, dropping the left knee, coming into a low lunge. Sweep up the arms and send the hips low. Stay here for a few full deep belly breaths, making sure that the ankle is tracking right underneath the knee. Keep the breath in the belly. With your next exhale, sweep yourself into a twist, twisting over that right leg and maybe catching the left foot with the right hand. Keep the breath in the belly and maybe look along that back arm. Beautiful, release that foot, frame the front foot with the hands, and then we'll come into a high dragon, untucking the toes, coming up into a high lunge, and taking the hands on the mat if you can. If this is not accessible for you, just keep that back leg or that back knee on the mat. Otherwise, the chest is open, we're pressing into the hands, sinking the hips. Beautiful, take the hands to the outside of the foot, and come back into a downward facing dog. Beautiful, paddle out the feet here, and then we'll get ready to come on to the other side, sweeping up that left leg, stepping that left foot in between the hands, dropping that right knee onto the mat. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Again, just make sure that the ankle of the front foot is tracking underneath the knee. Reach up the arms, sink the hips. Deep breaths in the belly. And then exhale, you're going to open over that left leg this time. And maybe you're going to catch the right foot with the left hand. This is quite an intense pose for the knee, so if your knee does feel a little bit sensitive, just bring yourself back into the twist. Keep breathing. Deep, full breaths in through the nose only. And then release the hands, take the hands to the inside of that foot, coming into that extended dragon, untucking the back toes, lifting up the hips and opening the chest. Again, just go within your range of motion. If it's not comfortable for you to have that back heel lifted, drop the knee back down onto the mat. Otherwise, opening the chest, hands are pressed into the mat, drop that knee down, and then come back into a downward facing dog. Full breath here, in through the nose, let it out through the mouth. With your next inhale, you're going to sweep up the right leg. This time you're going to step forwards and come into a high lunge, keeping that back knee lifted. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Pause here for a moment, taking a full breath in through the nose. Maybe let out a sigh through the mouth as you sink deeper into the hips. Clench the fists and we're going to come into a twist over that right leg, twisting over the leg. Inhale, sweep yourself back up, keeping the fist clenched. Exhale, come into the twist again. And again, inhale and exhale. We've got 3 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Last 2. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up, separate the fingers. And then exhale, we're going to place the hands on the mat. We're going to come into standing split. So fingertips on the mat, body's drawing towards that front leg, and the back leg is being sent up towards the sky. Keep a micro bend in that front knee, keep the body over the leg, keep sending that back leg high, keep the breath in the belly. And then gently drop that back foot down onto the mat, come back into a high lunge, take a moment, find your balance. Pause here in high lunge, and then take the hands either side of the foot and press yourself back into downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet and get ready to come onto the other side. Inhale, sweep up the left leg this time. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, high lunge. Take a moment, pause here, find your balance, align the knee over that ankle, sink the hips, keep the breath in the belly. Back is straight, neck is long. Clench the fists and then we'll come into that twist on the other side. So twisting over that left leg, fists are clenched. Inhale, sweep yourself back to the center. Exhale, twist. We've got 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Beautiful, sweep up the arms, separate the hands, coming back into standing split. Sending the body over the front leg, fingertips touch the ground. Body's drawing towards that front leg and you're sending the back leg high, flexing the toes if you can, or you can point them. Keep breathing. And then with your next exhale, step that foot back into high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold over that front leg, hands come to the mat. Float yourself back into downward facing dog. Getting ready to come into the top of the mat. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forwards, and step or jump to the top of the mat. Fold over the legs. Inhale, take a halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, fold back down. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, bring your body all the way up to standing. Hands press through heart center, arms by your side in Tadasana. Step yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep up the arms, press the palms together. Exhale, float through heart center, back straight as long as possible. Inhale, take a halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a plank. Drop the knees for the first round and tuck the elbows in close to the body, coming through a baby chaturanga. And then coming up into a cobra, little to no weight in the hands, opening the chest, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. With your next inhale, come high up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look forwards, and step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Press the palms through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. We're going to flow again, stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, float through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump this time back into plank. Float through a chaturanga or bend the knees. Inhale, maybe this time come up to upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Press the hands through heart center. Arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back into plank. Flow through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. And again, inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Hands through heart center, arms by your side, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, press the hands through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, back straight, neck long. Exhale, step back into plank. Float through a chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Pause here for a moment, take a full breath, and then take the weight onto the left foot. We're going to sweep up the right leg, coming into a three-legged dog. And bend the right knee, coming into a hip opener. Keep the breath in the belly, keep an even weight on both hands. And then inhale, sweep up the leg again. We're going to exhale, we're going to roll into plank and bring the knee to the chest. Pause here for a moment, staying in plank, feeling the abs activate. One more full breath. And then lightly step that foot in between the hands. Inhale, sweep yourself up into a high lunge. Turn the back foot out, coming into warrior one. Keep the breath in the belly. Keep reaching up through the hands, extending through the fingertips. If you can, turn the weight out onto the pinky toe edge side of the back foot, and then sweep the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. We're going to come into humble warrior. So start to dip the body over that front leg, maybe taking that right shoulder to the inside of the right foot, and reaching the arms up behind you. Just be mindful of your balance here. Keep strong through the legs. There's a deep bend in that front leg, and maybe take your stance a little bit wider if you need to. Keep breathing fully and deeply through the nose only. Allow the head to be heavy, no tension in the neck. And then using your core, start to bring yourself up to standing. Sweep up the arms again, coming into warrior one, and then open the arms up into the warrior two. So hip bones should be facing forwards. And again, there's that right angle from the ankle to the knee on the front leg. Beautiful. Take an inhale, sweep up the arms, straighten the front leg, press the palms together, and then exhale, fold back to warrior two. I'm going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, press the palms together, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms together, exhale, warrior two. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Drop that right elbow onto the right thigh. Inhale, sweep up the left arm. And gently take the gaze towards the mat. Keeping the hips low, keeping that breath deep. And opening up through the chest. Opening up that left arm. We're going to start to take the right hand to the inside of the left ankle. And at the same time, opening the arm. So we're actively lifting up through the side waist. Legs are strong and gaze is towards the top hand. Inhale, bring yourself back to warrior two. Pause here for a moment, then straighten the front leg. Flip the palms, and you'll send yourself into a trikonasana. It's the same principle here. We're not crunching into the side of the body. We're lifting up actively through the side waist. And maybe gazing up towards that top hand or taking the gaze towards the mat. Inhale, bring yourself back to warrior two. Bend into that front knee. Exhale, quickly reverse the warrior just to release out the back. And then inhale back to warrior two. Frame that front foot and float through a chaturanga. Maybe you can float through a 3-legged chaturanga, lifting up the right leg, pausing in plank, and then floating through chaturanga. Otherwise, taking a regular chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Getting ready to come onto the other side. Inhale, sweep up the left leg. Exhale, bend the left knee and start to open up that left hip. Again, keeping an even weight on the hands. Keep the breath in the belly. And then inhale, sweep up the left leg, look forwards and draw yourself into plank, drawing that knee to the chest and pausing here, activating the core. Keep drawing the knee to the chest, keep pressing into the hands. Beautiful work. Step yourself into high lunge. Inhale, sweep up the arms. And then turn the back foot out, warrior one. Pause here, sinking into the hips, keeping the breath in the belly. Beautiful. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open up the chest. And when you're ready, start to send the body down over that front leg. So this time the left shoulder is on the inside of the left thigh. Keep your balance by turning onto the pinky toe edge side of that right foot. Keep breathing. And then inhale, use your core to bring yourself back up to standing. Sweep the arms back up to warrior one. And then open up into a warrior two. Beautiful. We're going to do that flow again here. So we're going to inhale, press the hands together, straighten that front leg. Exhale, float back to warrior two. 4 more rounds. Inhale, press the palms together. Exhale, warrior two. And again, inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Drop that left elbow onto the left thigh. Inhale, sweep up the right arm. Coming into that beautiful side bend. Again, lifting up through the left side of the body, looking up towards that top hand or gazing down towards the mat. Start to take that left hand to the inside of the left foot. And again, we're really lifting up through that right shoulder. And then when you're ready, start to gently bring yourself up out of the pose, back into a warrior two. Straighten that front leg, flip the palms, trikonasana. So again, we're not collapsing into the side of the body, we're lifting up through the waist. Front leg is straight. Keep the breath in the belly and bring yourself back to warrior two. Quickly reverse the warrior to release the back. And then bring yourself back to warrior two. Float through a 3-legged chaturanga if it's in your practice, or just come through a normal chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Awesome work. Paddle out the feet. Take any movements that feel good. And then we're going to take the weight onto the left foot again. We're going to reach up the right leg. Sweep up the right leg, flexing the toes, bend the knees. And this time we're going to come into wild thing. So we're going to step that right foot behind us. And at the same time, straighten the left leg and start to reach up the top arm or the right arm and look over that right hand. Open the chest, lift the hips, and then bring yourself back into three-legged dog, crawling your way back to a three-legged dog. Right leg is lifted. And then exhale, come into fallen star. Right leg forward. Reach up the left arm. Lift up the hips, rainbow the hips up towards the sky, and then press the hands back to the mat. Come back into three-legged dog. Right leg lifted. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest and step the foot forwards, coming back into a high lunge. Drop the hips, reach up the arms, keep the breath in the belly. Fold forwards, we're going to start to flow here. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Fold forwards over the legs. Arms go back. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Exhale, fold forwards. Keeping the legs strong, you can bend that back knee if you need to. Keep flowing. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Coming into a twist over that right leg. Reach the arms to shoulder height. Keep pressing through that back foot. And then sweep the arms up, flowing here. Exhale, float back into a twist. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, reach up the arms. Exhale, twist. And again, inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, sweep up the arms. And exhale, twist. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center and twist the left elbow over and around onto the right thigh. Again, keep pressing out through that back heel. Keep breathing. Remember to get the belly button towards the side of the wall. Keep the breath in the belly. And then when you're ready, start to slowly press into the hands. Bring the hands down onto the mat. Step the feet back into plank. And then we're going to turn into side plank. So turning out onto the left foot, sweeping up the right arm and rainbowing the hips up towards the sky. You can drop the left knee down onto the mat. Otherwise, keep the legs together. Keep the feet stacked on top of each other. Keep breathing through the nose only. And then sweep the right arm up, come back into plank, and float through a chaturanga. Slowly bring yourself down towards the mat, elbows in towards the side body, and then press yourself into an upward facing dog. Look up towards the sky, and then roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Full breath here in downward facing dog. And then inhale, sweep up the left leg, bend the left knee, and start to open up that left hip, keeping the hands pressed on the mat. Step that left foot back, coming into wild thing. Right leg is straight. Reach up the left arm. Keep the hips lifted. And then crawl your way back to a three-legged dog. Pressing the right hand back on the mat, stepping the feet back, lifting up that left leg. Draw the knee to the chest and then come into fallen star by crossing that left foot, sweeping up the right arm, sending the hips up towards the sky. So the right foot should be planted on the mat. The left foot, you're coming onto the blade edge side of the foot. Crawl yourself back to a three-legged dog, left leg is high. And then exhale, step that left foot in between the hands, high lunge, sweep the arms up. We're going to come into that flow again here, but first just sink the hips. Take a full breath. With your next exhale, sweep the hands forward. Arms come back, body down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, body down. Inhale, sweep up. And again, exhale. Inhale, keep the legs strong. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, sweep forwards. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Last one. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful, sink into the hips. Press the palms together. And this time we're going to come into a twist on the other side. So twisting over that left leg, looking back along that back arm. Again, you can drop that back knee if you need to. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up, and we'll start to flow here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, come back to the twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Last 2. Exhale. Inhale. Last 1. Exhale. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Come back into that twist. Press the palms together. Right elbow over and around onto the left thigh. Press into the palms. Actively send the belly button to the side of the room. Again, you can drop that knee if you need to. Otherwise, keep the breath in the belly. Beautiful. Press into the hands, look down, frame the front foot with the hands, step back into a plank, and then we're going to come into side plank on the other side. So rolling onto that right hand, sweeping up the left arm, rainbow the hips up towards the sky. Again, the feet are stacked on top of each other, or you can drop that back or bottom knee down. Keep the breath deep. Breathe through the nose. Keep lifting up the hips. Lifting up outside of that shoulder, and then sweep yourself back to a plank. Float yourself through chaturanga, bending the elbows, untucking the toes, coming up into upward facing dog, and exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Full breath here, in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale, come high up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forwards, jump to the top of the mat. We're going to sweep up into chair pose. Inhale, sweep up the arms, sink into an imaginary chair. Keep the breath in the belly. Breathing in through the nose. Coming high up onto the toes, we're going to start to chop the wood here. We're going to float the arms forward and back. Body down. Inhale, keep your balance. This is a really challenging pose. Exhale, float the arms back and down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Just take your time. If you fall out of the pose, come back. Inhale, sweep up the arms, keep the heels lifted. Exhale, fold forwards. And again, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Press into the feet, sweep the arms up, stand up, draw the hands through heart center, and then step yourself to the top of the mat. Come to Tadasana. Pause here for a full breath. And then inhale, sweep up the arms, press the palms together, and step the feet wide. We're going to come into a forward fold. So the toes are slightly in, the heels are slightly out. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Take a moment to inhale, open up the chest, and then fold the body down, taking the arms up behind the head. Once you're there, relax the head and neck, close the eyes. Full breath through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh through the mouth. Start to take the breath to the belly, breathing deeply through the nose only. Allow the head and neck to be heavy, and then sweep the arms down onto the mat. And then press into the hands. We're going to come into a twist here. So take the right hand onto the mat, and we're going to start to sweep up the left arm. Maybe look up towards that top hand, straighten the back. Maybe you can start to take that right hand towards the left foot. And maybe come down onto the elbow, coming into a deeper stretch. Just do whatever feels good for your body. The hips should still be in line. They shouldn't be popping up. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back down to the center. Press the hands into the mat. Straighten the back. Take a full breath. Then relax back down. We'll come onto the other side. Left hand towards the center line of the body. Reach up the right arm. And then again, maybe taking that left hand towards the right ankle. And starting to sink into the elbow, coming into a really deep stretch here. Just notice if your hips start to pop up, just bring yourself back to an easier version. Keep the breath in the belly, and then float yourself back down to the center. Relax the head and shoulders. Come into a straight back, and then tiptoe the feet slightly in, coming into Standasana. Sinking into the right foot, taking the left heel to the mat, pressing the hands together in prayer. Take the hands to the mat, float over to Standasana on the other side. Press the hands together in prayer. And then we'll float back through, coming into the other side. Just move really gently and mindfully. And again, press the hands together, take the hands to the mat, float into Standasana, hands together in prayer. Beautiful. Take the hands to the mat and float yourself to the top of the mat. Coming back into a lunge, drop the back knee, and then we'll come into a tabletop. Take the big toes together and the knees out wide. We'll sink ourselves into child's pose. Once you get there and your forehead is close to the mat, take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh out through the mouth. Float yourself all the way to lying on your belly. Take the hands to the sides of the body and then interlace the fingers behind you. We're going to take an inhale. We're going to peel the body off the mat and look up. At the same time, sending the backs of the hands away from us, pressing the tops of the feet in the mat. One more breath. And exhale, sink down onto the mat. And we'll get ready to go again. As you exhale, press the backs of the hands away from you. Peel the chest off the mat. Press the tops of the feet in the mat. Breathe into the belly. Exhale, fold down. Last one, and this time we're going to lift up the feet as well. So press the hands away from you, lift up the feet, lift up the chest. And fold down onto the mat. Press into the hands and rock back into a child's pose, taking the knees together. And taking the hands out behind you, palms facing up, forehead on the mat. Take hold of the ankles and come into rabbit pose by rocking onto the top of the head, sending the sit bones up. And then rock back onto the mat. Peel yourself back up. Come into kneeling and then send yourself into a seated position. Legs forwards, reach the arms down, and vertebrae by vertebrae roll yourself down onto the mat. Once you get there, take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh through the mouth. Staying here in Shavasana just for a few moments. Then we're going to take the heels towards the sit bones, pressing into the feet. We're going to come into bridge pose. We're going to make this a really active bridge pose. So send the hips up, press into the hands, and then interlace the hands behind you and come high up onto the shoulder blades. Keep a gentle tuck of the chin and lift up the hips. Press into the feet. Try not to let the knees knock together or flare out. Imagine that you're holding a Swiss ball in between your legs. Maybe take another inhale, send the hips up a little bit higher. And then exhale, release the hands, release the hips all the way down onto the mat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then we'll go again, lift up the hips, press into the hands, interlace the fingers behind the back, come high up onto the shoulder blades, and press the hips towards the sky. Beautiful. Release the hands, press into the hands, and slowly and gently rock the hips back down onto the mat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side to release out the lower back. And then we're going to come into a binded twist. So taking the right leg over the left. And then we're going to send the legs over to the left side. And at the same time, reach the arms out at shoulder height and look along that right arm. Close the eyes. Allow your body to be heavy. We're almost at the end of the class now. So just really winding down, relaxing the body. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back gently to the breath. When you're ready, bringing your knees back to the center, unwinding the legs, and getting ready to come into the other side. So this time the left leg sweeps around the right, and we'll bring the legs over to the right side. Reach the arms to shoulder height, close down the eyes, and take the face over the left arm. Again, just allow the body to be heavy here. Close down the eyes. Start to breathe deeply through the nose. Fill up the belly. And then draw the knees back to the center, unwind the legs. Hug the knees into the chest, rock out the lower spine, and we'll come into a shoulder stand. If you don't know how to safely come into shoulder stand, come into waterfall just by lifting up the legs. Otherwise, if you're in shoulder stand, tucking the chin to the chest, lifting the legs up high. The legs don't need to be straight here. I'm taking more of a relaxed shoulder stand. Just make sure that you're really safe and that you're holding onto the lower back and there's no pain anywhere in the neck. Just a few more moments here. And then press the hands into the mat slowly and gently. Roll yourself back down onto the mat. Draw the knees together, hug the knees. And then relax yourself all the way down. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, taking the left hand to the heart, the right hand to the belly. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Take this moment just to recall the intention you made at the beginning of the class. And when you're ready, fold down into your final Shavasana. This is where I'll be leaving you today. Stay here as long as you need. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.